that is going on. What's going on is Alabama. Even though we realize that they've gotten bigger, we also see that Alabama has gotten more athletic, and so it's different body types.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Hmm.
Terrence Green is bigger, but he has a completely different body type than Tim
Yeah,
Keenan.
absolutely.
Devin Tompkins is bigger, but he's a longer, leaner body type than an LT Overton. Dez is a leaner body type. But what is he? He's 2, 3 inches taller than LT. And,
Right.
he's the same height as a Keon Keeley. Now, offensively, our offensive line, to a certain degree, has gotten smaller.
For good reason.
But for good reason. You go from your left tackle being 6'7", 370 to now 6'7", 320.
Yeah.
Your right tackle, your right guard at the end of last year was 6'7", 330 probably, 335 in Wilkin Formby.
Yeah.
To now he's 6'5", 318. But who do you like more? Do you like Jackson Lloyd or do you like Caden Proctor? Do you like Wilkin Formby or do you like Michael Carroll in that spot?
Yeah.
We're bigger.
It's for
Even if you look at our left guard, Cam Dewberry's a lot bigger than what we expect either from Will Sanders or even Mal Waldrop. But they're more athletic. They're quicker. The only spot that we technically got a lot bigger at is center, which I don't think is a bad thing.
no, no. I think Parker Brailsford was just an anomaly for being as small as he was and able to still play.
It's
So
such a high level.
yeah,
So that's what, when we're looking at it. Yeah, Alabama, it does probably look a little bit smaller in some spots, but it's because they're leaner athletes, they're taller athletes, things of that nature. Our secondary are giants. Bama can roll out Alabama can roll out a secondary where the shortest guy out there is 6'1" Xavier Brown.
I'm sure they'll do that.
Think about that. Or 6 foot tall Keon Sad. But you
Yeah,
can still you be 6'4" at one corner, 6'1" at the other, 6'2" at one safety. You put Mincy out there in some of these formations, 6'3". Bray Hubbard 6'2". Bama Bama's long and tall. So who knows what's going on, right? With the talk. I just thought that was an interesting aspect of it. But getting into it, how confident do you feel about where we talked about but I want to get your thought when we're talking about, okay, you talked about the D line and the transfers coming in. How much more confident do you feel about the transfers than you do the guys that they replace? Like it say James Smith doesn't transfer and we still get Terrence Green and Devin Tompkins. Say Keon Keeley doesn't transfer and we get those guys and you add Dez into the conversation. You know, how confident are you when it comes to those guys?
compared
Where do they
to
sit? Where do they sit on the depth chart if they're still at Alabama?
I mean, I think Tompkins would be ahead of well, is Tompkins and Keenan, or is it Tompkins and LT that are kind of playing the
No, no,
same?
no, no, no. LT, don't think about
Don't
LT or Tim. I'm talking about if James Smith was still on this roster,
okay,
Keon
James Smith.
Keeley, yeah.
Uh, they would be in front of those guys. I mean, the guys we brought in, I think, would be in front of James Smith and Keeley. I think. I mean, at least,
From what you've seen and heard.
yeah. Yeah, it's just I think size, in my opinion, is one of the biggest game changers in it. One, but for as much as James Smith, there was a lot of stuff that he had going on, but like Haha said, check the tape. How much impact did he really make on this team? And so I'm taking Devin Tompkins, Terrence Green, and Dez over James Smith and Keeley for sure.
And what Renard and
Yeah,
Collins. I mean, yeah, most of these guys ain't they're not starters at the new school. Now you can say, oh, it's because the other school got more talented, but what does that say? These were our starters, and they can't go compete for starting spots at their new school. Quay Rusau is third string. Keon Keeley is third string. Are you mad about losing Quay Rusau? When you had
shouldn't be,
Yanze
man.
coming back and you look at Justin Hill and you look at Xavier Griffin, like when you look at Dez, when you look at Tompkins, are you mad about Keon Keeley? I think this Alabama team's a lot better than what we think it's going to be. So it's going to be interesting. But we're going to get the break and we come back on the other side. We'll put the finishing touches on it. And I want to get your opinion about how confident you feel on the offensive side of the ball. On the other side, this is the Martin Houston Show with Martin, Xavier, and Simeon. We'll be back with more.
Coming up on The Game with Ryan Fowler.
Coming up on the Tuesday edition of The Game, we'll talk to Mike Detillier, WWL, the Big 870, a couple of days closer to the NFL Draft. He'll get you caught up with all the latest movement. We'll talk to Chris Hummer from 247 Sports, and we'll make a stop at Texas A&M as we continue our SEC tour, taking a look post-spring for the Texas A&M Aggies. Coming up, starting at 2 p.m. on The Game on Tide 100.9, 1230. WTBC, your home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
The longest-running sports talk show in Tuscaloosa. The Game with Ryan Fowler. Weekdays from 2 to 6 p.m. on Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC. And streaming worldwide on the free Tide app.
Here's what's trending on the Tuscaloosa thread.
Good morning. My name's Mary Kay, and I'm from the Town Square Media Newsroom. And it must be a ribbon cutting season as a new boutique already popular in college towns across the Southeast celebrated its grand opening. And a family of entrepreneurs from Gordo cut the ribbon on their newly opened pizzeria on Highway 43 in Northport. Find out more about Hemline and Martin Pizzeria at TuscaloosaThread.com. And in exciting news, Town Square Media and Tuscaloosa's very own comedian Lamar L.P. Pullum has been honored with 2 nominations for the 12th Annual Alabama Music Awards. Find out how to vote for LP by tapping the Tuscaloosa Thread app.
Tide 100.9 Traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. We move right along on the Tuscaloosa freeways and side streets. Intersections are the usual happenings. McFarland at Lurleen Wallace and 69. 43 southbound onto McFarland. That's starting to pick up a little bit of volume, but not too much so. 2059 remains wide open from McFarland to Joe Malisham. And you're pretty smooth sailing on Skyland Boulevard for the time being from McFarland to 69. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, Tammy Thomas.
This report is sponsored by True Green. Green. True Green, the easiest way to get a golf course quality lawn. Don't wait. Sign up at TrueGreen.com and get your first application for $9.95. True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. Let the pros do the work so you can enjoy your weekend. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
There's the, yes, I'd like some popcorn, yes. There's the, yes, my team won, yes. And then there's the yes you never forget. When you open a tiny box that says Fincher and Osmond, it's only second in line behind I do, but it's a yes you'll feel down to your toes.
I'm Tom Osmond, your jeweler at Fincher and Osmond Jewelers. Not so easy to find on McFarland, between Edgar's and Local Roots.
What does it mean to advertise and do your marketing with Town Square Media Tuscaloosa? Melissa started her business in 2014. What would you say to someone considering Town Square Media Tuscaloosa?
My experience with Town Square Media has been awesome, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone. I think that this is the first time in my marketing experience that I've been able to see my return on investment. I would definitely say in the past that has not been the case. In this, I like knowing that that's 100%. A lot of the marketing we've done has been radio. You guys have so much more to offer than that, whether it's, websites, from targeted marketing to radio. You are kind of a one-stop shop, and it makes doing marketing so much easier. So I would definitely recommend it.
For more info on marketing with Town Square Media Tuscaloosa, call 205-345-7200 or click on Advertise with Us on our website.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
The sound of Bama Sports. Your show, your team. The Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show. Martin Xavier Simeon as we get the Harvest Church 2-minute warning. Sam, just to get your thoughts real quick about the offensive side of the ball, and of course we can continue the conversation at a later time. When you're looking at the offense from last year to this year, what is your confidence level that Alabama will be able to do more to compete consistently and not have the lulls that we've seen the last 2 years?
I would just say having a better all-around offense, not becoming too pass dependent. If what happened last year was if the passing game wasn't working, the offense didn't work at all. And so I think just to having a better year, which is having a better offensive line and having a better run game, which I feel like Alabama has hit both of those markers, and also having different ways to pass ball, like the RPO game that Alabama hasn't had the past 2 years. So that's another extension of the passing game that you can play off of as well. So I think Alabama will have just much more versatility in their offensive scheme this year than they've had in the past.
Balance.
Yep. Or at least try to be balanced. I think they're always going to be a little more lean to pass, but I think it's going to be significantly more balanced.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, it was, 60? It was probably 70-30 at best last year.
Yeah.
75-25. You want to at least see it get to that 60-40 range on the bit effectiveness at a 60-40 clip. I feel like they probably tried to be 60-40 last year at least, and it just the effectiveness in the run game wasn't there.
Yeah,
couldn't move the ball. Yeah, but hey, give your final thoughts as we put this show on wraps.
Yeah, I'm just super excited for Alabama sports as a whole, but super excited to see what Nate Oates and company does as they continue to finish out this roster. Kind of entering the dog days of summer for football, but looking forward to seeing this team grow and improve for the 2026 season.
Yep, I definitely agree with that. Hey, this is the Martin Houston Show with Martin, Xavier, and Simeon. This was our Tuesday edition. Y'all have a blessed rest of your day. We'll catch you back at this time tomorrow.
All right, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Have a good day, everybody. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
It's a celebration.
Thank you for listening to the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9